Have you ever wondered what it's really like to live in one of the most populous nations in the world? In today's video, we're going to explore the 7 worst aspects of living in densely populated India. You'll discover the unique challenges that residents face daily and understand how this can impact their quality of life. Are you ready to see the hidden side of overpopulation? Then stay with me until the end to find out. Welcome to the Fascinating Traditions channel. Here, we unravel fascinating secrets and explore the incredible world around us. Don't miss out on the discoveries. Subscribe now, activate notifications, and embark on this knowledge adventure with us. Extreme overcrowding. Overcrowding is perhaps the most noticeable and tangible phenomenon in India. In cities like Mumbai, New Delhi, and Kolkata, the population density reaches exorbitant levels, creating a constant sense of congestion and chaos. On trains, it's common to see carriages designed for 50 people accommodating 3 times that number, with passengers clinging to each other in the struggle for space. On the streets, incessant crowds seem to form a single human mass, making simple tasks like crossing the road a real challenge. This overcrowding extends beyond public spaces, infiltrating every aspect of life. In schools, classrooms designed for 25 students house double or triple that number, making individualized attention and effective learning difficult. In hospitals, the scarcity of beds leads to scenes of corridors packed with patients, increasing the risks of medical errors and the spread of diseases. Overcrowding is not just a physical inconvenience, but also a social and economic burden. It overloads urban infrastructure, creating bottlenecks in the supply of water, energy, and basic services. Additionally, high population density exacerbates environmental challenges, such as air pollution and waste management, profoundly impacting public health. Understanding the reality of overcrowding in India is essential for initiating discussions about sustainable urban planning, public health policies, and innovative solutions that can be applied globally. Only through this holistic approach will it be possible to mitigate the devastating impacts of excessive population density and improve the quality of life for Indians. Inadequate infrastructure. The infrastructure problems in India are as varied as they are complex, reflecting the challenge of modernizing outdated systems while serving a continuously growing population. Roads, bridges, and public transportation systems often fail to meet the demand, resulting in chronic congestion and significant delays that affect daily life and the economy. The issue of water is particularly critical. Many areas of the country face regular shortages, with millions of people relying on water sources that are neither safe nor sustainable. During drought periods, this situation worsens, forcing families to spend hours each day collecting potable water, time that could otherwise be used for education or work. Additionally, the power supply is another critical point. Despite recent advances in energy capacity, power outages remain common, especially in rural and underdeveloped areas. This not only complicates basic daily tasks, but also limits business opportunities and industrial development that depend on a reliable energy source. Access to basic health and education services also suffers from inadequate infrastructure. Hospitals and schools in many parts of the country are overcrowded and under-equipped. This results in insufficient medical care and poor-quality education, perpetuating cycles of poverty and hindering the personal and professional development of millions of Indians. Addressing these challenges requires a renewed commitment from both the government and the international community. Substantial investments in infrastructure, along with innovative policies that prioritize sustainability and accessibility, are essential to ensure that advances in infrastructure benefit the entire population. Only then can India realize its full potential as a modern and dynamic nation. Deadly air pollution. Air pollution in India is not just a blemish on the landscape, but a dense cloud that permeates every aspect of daily life. In major cities like New Delhi, smoke from vehicles, factories, and agricultural burning combines to create a toxic veil that makes the simple act of breathing a health hazard. This polluted haze drastically reduces visibility, sometimes limiting sight to just a few meters. The sun often appears as a pale disk in the hazy sky, constantly reminding inhabitants of the severity of the environmental crisis they face. But air pollution in India is not just an environmental problem, it is also a severe public health crisis. Pollutant levels frequently exceed the limits considered safe by the World Health Organization, WHO, leading to a frightening increase in respiratory problems, cardiovascular diseases, and even negative impacts on children's cognitive development. This reality is particularly concerning because the most vulnerable populations, children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing health conditions, are the most affected by the harmful effects of pollution. Studies show that prolonged exposure to high levels of pollutants can lead to severe respiratory complications, such as asthma and pneumonia, and increase the risk of strokes and heart attacks. Understanding the magnitude of air pollution in India offers vital lessons on sustainability, resilience, and innovation. Exploring how local initiatives are combating this problem, from reforestation projects to technological advances that filter air pollutants, inspires us to reflect on our own practices and the environmental impact we generate in our communities. By sharing solutions and ideas, we can aspire to a world where clean air is not a luxury, but a norm accessible to all. After all, the health and well-being of the population should be the highest priority in any society. Stress and mental health issues. Stress and mental health problems in India are becoming growing concerns, especially in densely populated urban areas. The fast-paced life, along with constant pressure for space and resources, significantly contributes to increasing stress and anxiety among the population. This situation is exacerbated by the cultural stigma often associated with mental health issues, preventing many people from seeking help. In cities, constant noise, chaotic traffic, and pollution can be overwhelming, affecting the quality of life and mental health of residents. Many workers face long commuting hours and stressful working conditions without adequate support to manage stress. This lack of work-life balance can lead to burnout and other severe psychological issues. Moreover, the lack of adequate mental health infrastructure is a significant problem. There are few qualified professionals relative to the size of the population, and the services available are often inaccessible to those living outside major metropolises or who cannot afford private care. Recognizing these issues, some initiatives have begun to emerge, aiming to increase awareness and access to mental health services. Public education programs, emotional support helplines, and stress management workshops are being implemented to help combat the impact of the urban environment on mental health. To truly address these issues, however, a coordinated effort is needed that includes improvements in education and infrastructure, along with a cultural shift in the perception of mental health. Promoting a more understanding and supportive environment can help mitigate the effects of urban stress and foster a more resilient and mentally healthy society. Stark economic inequality. Economic inequality in India presents itself in a brutal and evident manner. A mere glance around reveals the stark contrasts between the extremes of society. On one side, gleaming modern skyscrapers emerge next to vast slums where living conditions are extremely precarious. This image of extremes not only marks the urban landscape, but also reflects a deep chasm of opportunities between different social strata. In the wealthier neighborhoods, urban life thrives with access to cutting-edge technologies and world-class infrastructures. Here, children attend well-equipped schools and families enjoy quality healthcare services. In contrast, the reality in the slums is completely different. Many families live in overcrowded conditions, with limited access to clean water, adequate sanitation, and reliable electricity. Education is often substandard, offering few chances to break the cycle of poverty. Public health in these environments is constantly challenged, with easily preventable diseases still prevalent. This economic divide has profound implications that go beyond mere access to goods and services. It perpetuates a cycle of social exclusion and limits the potential for overall national development. When a significant portion of the population lacks access to the basic tools to improve their living conditions, national progress is stifled. Addressing and understanding this disparity is essential for initiating change. Community initiatives and government policies aimed at reducing this inequality are underway, striving to build a more equitable society. Through education, housing reforms, and employment programs, the goal is not only to improve the present, but also to ensure a more promising future for all Indians. Persistent public health issues. Public health issues in India are exacerbated by a combination of overcrowding, inadequate infrastructure, and economic inequalities, creating a scenario where preventable diseases continue to proliferate. Frequent interaction in crowded spaces facilitates the rapid spread of infectious diseases like tuberculosis and dengue, which are significant problems in many urban and rural areas. The situation is worsened by the variable quality of healthcare services available. While some metropolitan cities have well-equipped hospitals with cutting-edge technology, many rural areas struggle with a lack of basic resources, such as medicines and qualified personnel. This disparity means that disease treatment and prevention are inconsistent, leaving many populations vulnerable to public health outbreaks. Additionally, environmental pollution significantly contributes to respiratory problems and other chronic diseases. The polluted air in cities, combined with inadequate industrial practices, increases cases of asthma and other respiratory illnesses, further burdening the already overstretched healthcare system. To effectively address these challenges, India has been investing in vaccination campaigns and public health programs aimed at increasing awareness about health and hygiene practices. These efforts are vital for preventing the spread of diseases and promoting healthier lifestyles among high-risk populations. However, it is clear that much more needs to be done. Continued investments in health infrastructure, along with policies that tackle the social and environmental causes of diseases, are crucial for improving public health in India. These measures will not only help alleviate existing health problems, but also prepare the country to more effectively face future health crises. Struggles for scarce resources. The fight for resources in India is a daily battle for many, especially in densely populated areas where demand often exceeds the available supply. With a population exceeding 1 billion, natural resources like water, food, and energy are highly contested, leading to significant conflicts and continuous stress on the environment and communities. Water is perhaps the most critical and contested resource. In many regions, potable water is scarce, and dry seasons exacerbate the situation, forcing families to rely on unreliable and potentially contaminated sources. Competition for water has intensified local tensions and, in some cases, led to conflicts between communities. Food security is another area of intense concern. Population growth and climate change affect agricultural production, making it difficult for many farmers to sustain productivity. This results in food price inflation and inconsistent availability of basic products, primarily affecting the most vulnerable populations. In the energy sector, rapid urban and industrial development demands increasing amounts of energy, while the existing infrastructure struggles to keep up. Frequent power outages are common and affect both daily life and business operations, limiting economic growth and quality of life. In response to these challenges, India has been exploring sustainable and innovative solutions. Water reuse and conservation projects are being implemented, while renewable energy initiatives are gaining momentum. Additionally, sustainable agricultural practices are being promoted to improve long-term food security. Each of these efforts not only alleviates immediate pressure on resources, but also contributes to more sustainable and equitable management, ensuring that future generations can also meet their needs. Despite these challenges, India remains a vibrant country full of culture and history. What do you think? Comment below and don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to receive more content like this. Thanks for watching and see you on your next adventure.